All right, everybody. I am here to just explain this very simple spreadsheet for budgeting. A lot of people really struggle with money, and something that could really help is to have a very simple spreadsheet that can help you to budget. And budgeting is something that a lot of people think is very simple, but something that I think that a lot of people don't do, and that they don't really set a budget. And there's a gazillion, free softwares out there that can help you with things like this. But I think that just having a really easy, straightforward spreadsheet can really save a lot of stress and headaches for your future. So let me just explain this. This is very simple. You have starting cash in the bank right here. And this, I sort of based it off of a single college student's budget. I don't know if this is realistic, but you're free to criticize me in the comments. So $2,300, let's just say, $450 in the bank, in your checking account or whatever. Let's just say that's all you have. $2,300 a month. You have taxes. I pay tithing as a part of my church. And then you have these housing, so rent or mortgage. You've got utilities, probably going to be paying for gasoline if you have any sort of commute to school, or traveling to do any sort of activities on the weekend or anything like that. Groceries, dining, and entertainment. Anytime you want to go on a date, or you just want to go to a show, or you want to go to a movie or whatever. Car insurance, business expenses if you are running one while you're in school. If you're a student loans. Some people have them, some people don't. Phone, and these are right here. These are under this expenses section right here. I'll just highlight it. These are things that are monthly. So this happens every single month, and you have to pay for certain things every month. Obviously, these are all going to be different for everybody. So you can change these, obviously, to whatever you want. But just so that you can see this, you can change these, the total of how much you make, as well as how much you have in the bank, and how much taxes you're taking out of your check for deductions or whatever. Or if you're an entrepreneur, you're self-employed, this is going to vary as well. So you change these to whatever is yours. So let's say your rent is $400 a month or whatever. I mean, that's if you are living in a place that's really cheap, as in Utah, Idaho, I don't know, whatever. If you're out in Boston, you're going to be paying like $1,200 a month for a single apartment for one person that's shared. Anyways, so let's just go back to 400 so that you don't kill your budget. So here you have the ability to change these, and it automatically will alter the rest of your budget for the whole year. Actually, there's 14 months in this one, just so that you can kind of get a little further of a view. And here you have the ability to, let's say your car insurance is only $55. You have zero business expense, or maybe you have $150 of business expense every month. I don't know. You go in here and change it. Maybe you don't have any student loans. Maybe you pay for that before, or you get a Pell Grant or whatever. So, and then here, these down here are expenses that don't happen every single month. So as you see up here, these ones, if you change it here, it'll change the entire rest of the year, or the rest of the 14 months ongoing. And so if you want to alter your budget, so for example, groceries, maybe you're going to have to say, gasoline, or maybe you could call that travel, / travel or commute or whatever you want to call it. And let's say you have a subway or a metro or a train or something like that you take, and it's a little bit cheaper than that, so you end up saving a little bit more. You only spend $80 a month. So if you wanted, you could add that onto your budget of groceries. If you maybe had expenses, something that you want to buy, like really fancy frozen pizzas or whatever, DiGiorno, instead of the, knockoff brand. So anyways, that helps so that you can kind of just alter your budget. You can fiddle with it until it kind of works for you. And you'll see, so let's just say, you have way too much business expense, it's like $4,000 a month or something like that. So then, boom, you see it all goes red down here. So obviously you're not going to want to do that. So let's just bring it back down to 0 just for this example. This will then alter and adapt to what you put in there. So it's really nice. And it's just formulas. Anybody can make this. It's super simple. But this here, you can obviously change these to whatever expenses that are miscellaneous that you have. I just put like gifts, at Christmas time, you might buy gifts for your family or for your girlfriend or your whoever, boyfriend, anything. Travel expenses here, you might buy a plane ticket to go home for Christmas. You don't want to buy it right before Christmas. So you're going to buy it in November or October even, $230 to get a good deal, depending on where you live, whatever. Other things might come up like books, every once in a while in January and August, you've got to buy some books for, school or whatever. Books are super expensive, right? So it stinks, but you just have to budget those in, and it might kind of take a hit to your budget there. Let's just say it's $450, for books. Maybe you're like a, I don't know, chemistry major or something. You have to buy the stupid, huge, really expensive science books that you then never use again. And then, car repairs, or, you have to renew your registration once a year or something, $150, depending on your state. $30 for like an oil change here and there, and then any other miscellaneous stuff that like pops up. I just like to have this down here so that you can say, you know what, probably around January and August, I'm going to be buying books. Probably going to be buying gifts here. Probably going to be buying, I'm going to be maybe during the summer, I want to go on a trip. So let's say $500 for a little, I don't know, excursion to like a cruise to Mexico or something like that. You can get those for pretty cheap. So anyways, so you can see here that, even right here, when you spend $500 in that month, you're under, you're way, you're $64 in the hole of your budget, but because you've been saving up this whole time, here it aggregates it for you. You got $3,587 in the bank. Hopefully, if you didn't spend it on, random midnight runs to Wendy's or something like that, but or like online Amazon, random spending or sporadic stuff. Anyway, so you got all this money here that'll then cover for that. You have a little bit of money saved up. Maybe in you might get a little tax return thing, boom, coming in here. So that doesn't count for this. It's not that complex, but you have enough to cover this little trip. You have enough to cover for the books coming up, any kind of random expenses. So it's kind of nice because it'll just keep showing you where, okay, yeah, you're 44 in the hole for the month under the expenses, but you've got this cash left over, so you're still not red. So let's just say, you've got an emergency appendectomy that you didn't have insurance, which is stupid. And so let's say that costs you $25,000. That stinks. I'm sorry. But, obviously you can probably work out something so that you don't have to pay that, and you can do some sort of payment plan, hopefully with the hospital, whatever. But let's just say that happens. $25,000 expense, and then I just wanted to show you this. So here you've got now you're 25,000 in the hole for this month, and then it just minuses, $25,000 from 3,523, and then you got that left over. So over time, you would recover from that. It would take a long time from that one because it's kind of huge, but anyways, this is just to help show you how this spreadsheet works. Hopefully that never happens to you. And if you're paying for health insurance here or whatever for a single person, that's not going to happen. And maybe the most out of pocket you're going to have is, I don't know, ask Obama. I'm not sure, but whatever. So let's just say that's back to 0 and you're not having a headache or stress about that. Yeah, so this just kind of helps you to see how to budget, gives you a little bit of a tool to do so, gives you kind of a way to say, you know what, guess what? In November, if I keep doing this on the same budget, I'm going to have $4,700. What do I want to do with that? Ooh, maybe you could go on a trip to China or something. I don't know. But hopefully this helped. You can change stuff like tithing. I actually think, and there's actually research that shows whether you're paying tithing to your church or donating it to a charity or whatever, if you give money away, it makes you a better budgeter. There's, look it up, Google it, how giving makes you richer. It actually helps you to be smarter with your money. And eventually it's shown that it's correlated with wealthiness, and wealth ongoing. So hopefully this helped you. Really quick Google Hangout on air, but I just wanted to have it for the video training, and so that this can be helpful for anybody who needs help with their money, which a lot of people do, right? So yeah, I hope this has been a great experience for you, and feel free to, in the comments below, say whatever, add things, make suggestions. I'll put a link to the download from a website that I manage, so where you can actually download this very file. I'll make it a CSV file so that you can open it in Excel or in Numbers or even Google Spreadsheets or whatever you want. So it'll still work in any of those. So, yep. And if you have any other questions, feel free to look through the formulas, alter them however you want once you download it. But it's free. It's just a spreadsheet. Anybody can make it, and you can alter it however you want. So hopefully that's helped. Have a wonderful day and be smart with your money.